This is one of the most ridiculous claims made in the CAGED versus 3-note per string debate. It's about time we put it to bed once and for all. So what do we talk about today? Well, there's a claim going around that it's harder to play through the CAGED system than it is to play through the 3-note per string system. The case is usually presented in the key of G major, and today we're going to have a look at it, and we're going to put this argument to bed once and for all. So usually you will see the first position of the CAGED system played. And what the presenter will usually tell you is that when you get to this B string, it becomes difficult, sometimes for some people too difficult, because rather than playing 3 notes like you have done currently, you then have to play 2 notes on the B string before going back to 3 notes on the E string. This can, as some claim, make things difficult because you change your picking pattern as you go across the strings. This isn't necessarily true. If you alternate pick and you pick down, up, regardless of how many notes there are on each particular string. And one of the other claims is that it's just awkward to finger this, using your middle finger and your little finger rather than starting with your first finger on the next string. There are some flaws to this. The solution often presented is that actually the 3-note per string system takes this problem away, because the first position of the 3-note per string system looks like this. Which apparently is easier to play and will solve the issue of this awkward note down here. Now there's a fundamental flaw to this issue, which makes me believe that the people saying these things don't actually know their scales very well. Because the first position of the CAGED system isn't comparable to the first position of the 3-note per string system. If you know your scales and you know all of your positions rather than just the first one, you'll know that they're played in different places. The first position of our 3-note per string system is actually a lot more comparable to the second position of our CAGED system, which would look like this. Now if you see closely, that directly overlays the first position of our 3-note per string. So just to display that, if I ascend through the 3-note per string system, then descend through the CAGED, you will see that both positions overlap quite nicely. It's in the same place. So all these notes that you're given as an advantage or a beneficiary over the CAGED system is a complete load of rubbish, because they're all found within the CAGED system, they're just in the next position along. Now conversely, if we really want to compare like for like, the first position of the CAGED system aligns to the 7th position of our 3-note per string system, which looks like this. Now, if you notice, that wasn't actually that easy to play, certainly for a beginner guitarist, because when we get to this troublesome B string, rather than just having the 2 little notes like this, we have a massive stretch. We have to bring the first finger across, in the key of G major this is, at this part of the neck, and play these 2 long stretches. Now, having taught people for many years, I find that a lot of people who don't have long, skinny fingers, like I do, I'm quite lucky in that respect, really struggle with these stretches on the instrument. And so that actually for a lot of people that's going to be a lot more difficult to play. And you only need fractions of a second to make a difference, certainly when you're playing anything with any speed or you want smoothness in your playing. And that can actually present more problems in itself. So let's stop listening to this rubbish. Really ultimately all this comes down to is learning your scales. You know, whichever system you use, and preferentially I'd suggest you learn both. You need to know your scales really well. If you know all your positions, then ultimately you can play any note anywhere on the guitar and make any sort of melodic choice. We shouldn't be governed by certain positions. We shouldn't be thinking, oh, we're stuck in position 1 of whatever system we use. And equally, we should be able to bridge different positions and even bridge the 2 systems where we want to. So the next time you hear all these videos or people suggesting that the CAGED system is rubbish because it's difficult to play in the first position in the key of G major, well, maybe you probably shouldn't really listen to that person. I hope you find this useful. There'll be more to come on the subject. I'll leave it there for now, so take care and I'll see you soon.